Hi, everybody. I want to share with you that I am putting together another workshop, kind of a mystical pilgrimage workshop, and I'm going to Lourdes, France, the site of the miracle of Lourdes. And the workshop is June 11th to 17th next year. I guess that's 26. Whoa, the 20s are going by. So I am thrilled to go to Lourdes, as I was to go to Fatima, as I was to go to Medjugorje. Obviously, these three places have profound meaning for me, and they do. Lourdes, as I'm sure many of you know, and if you don't, I'll share with you, is the site where Bernadette Soubirous in, I think, 1848, I'm not sure about that year, oddly enough, um, but Bernadette saw the Holy Mother and um, 18 times. And then, and you know, what is typical of these holy apparitions, which is why they fascinate me, and they have since I was a child, is that uh, Mary always leaves behind something that says, I was here. And this stands as proof of my link with you on this spot. And that's that she instructed Bernadette to dig a hole in this dirt by the grotto, and where she appeared in Massabielle, and put the grass in her mouth and put dirt on her face. Well, she obviously looked like she was mad to all the people watching her who had come to, on these days, she said she would appear 14 days in a row. And so that built up a crowd. And but then a woman in the village whose son was crippled, she, in a moment of faith, took her little boy and put him in the water that was showing up from that stream, and he was healed. And that was the first miracle. Now, there have been, I believe, 72 or 75 documented healings. And um, it's quite a rigorous thing to go through the process of documenting a healing and having it listed as a miracle. In my college, my undergraduate college, St. Mary of the Woods, I've told this story quite a few times, but a man who was blind, 95% blind, had gone to his doctor and said, is there a surgery? Is there anything? He said, the doctor said to him, well, I could do something. He had apparently like gray cataracts over his eyes. He said, but you won't get your eyesight back. And he wasn't Catholic. And I'm telling this because I want to emphasize this isn't, heaven's not Catholic. Heaven's not Jewish. Heaven's not Muslim. Heaven is heaven. There is no such thing as a God with a religion. That's our cross to bear. Anyway, on his way home from the doctor, he asked his wife to stop at the church on the campus of my college, which is also a mother house to the Sisters of Providence. Now, this college was founded in 1840. That's why 1840 is in there. 1840. And it was founded by French sisters. And eventually they had a devotion to Our Lady of Lourdes. And the grotto where Mary appeared to Bernadette was duplicated on my campus. So there's this beautiful grotto where we would always go in for evening prayer and that sort of thing. He goes into the church, and he knew that the foundress of this community of nuns and the college, her name was Guerin, Mother Theodore Guerin, was up for sainthood. She was what's called beatified. But to people who don't know the sacred language of another tradition, you don't appreciate perhaps what that means. But this is the prayer he said to her, which I just adore, which is why it's frozen into my memory. He said, you don't know me. You don't know me. But I could use your help. So if you have any influence up there, I'd appreciate it. And he left. You don't know me, but if you have any influence, I he said it with such faith, apparently. When he woke up in the morning, he had 20/20 eye vision. 20/20, but his cataracts were still there. And his doctor said, this is, well, here we go, impossible. It is a miracle. That's what a miracle is. It's a miracle. Sister Kevin said it best. A miracle is when heaven bends the laws of the universe, the laws of nature, just for you, just for you. And with that, he went to Rome. His medical case was investigated and it was declared a miracle. Now, those kinds of miracles, there was another one that was declared a miracle, I believe, in April of this year from Lourdes. So, I think that the message of Our Lady of Lourdes was one of faith, prayer, and miracles and healing. The message of Our Lady of Fatima was peace. But this one is about healing. This one is about what heaven can do. Now, I'll tell you something that I have wondered, because I so deeply, deeply believe in the intervention of heaven. And I don't care what your tradition, whether you're Buddha, whatever, the intervention of the holy world into our world. I have wondered, and I pray for people all the time, why this healing hasn't happened. There's nothing logical about healing. It is mystical. But what I really believe is heaven gives us experiences that are paced to the speed at which we can absorb the experience. If, for example, a person was someone who didn't even believe in themselves, no self-esteem whatsoever, and they went from not walking to walking, their first response would be to say to people, can you believe what happened to me? Can you believe it? Not, I believe it. That's the big gap. And I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about the significance of what it is to develop, really, to go from self-esteem to esteeming the self. At any rate, I am thrilled to go to Lourdes with all of you. And I really hope that you would bring with you all parts of yourself that need the grace of God and the Holy Mother and the divine universe. So, the write-up's on my site. We're going in June, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.